Ethan Walker was not expecting trouble that evening. He was only trying to find a quiet place to rest after a long day of traveling across the alien forest. The sky above him glowed with 3 moons, and the wind carried a strange humming sound. The paths were empty. The trees looked silver under the moonlight, and everything felt calm. But calm never lasts for long. Ethan stopped walking when he heard something behind him, a soft cry, almost like a whisper carried by the wind. He turned slowly, thinking it was the forest. But then he heard it again. This time it was clear, a voice, a child's voice. Crying, he stepped forward carefully. "Hello? Is someone there?" No answer, only a shaking breath. Ethan moved toward the sound, brushing aside glowing leaves, and then he froze. A tiny alien girl, no older than 8, suddenly stepped out from behind a tree. Her skin was pale blue, her eyes a bright silver that reflected the moonlight. She was shaking badly, and her hands were covered in dust. Her small chest rose and fell fast as if she had been running for a long time. She saw Ethan and immediately ran toward him. Before he could react, she fell to her knees in front of him and grabbed his coat with trembling fingers. "Please," she cried, "please help. My mother was bitten. Only a human can draw out the poison." Ethan's heart jumped. He had heard many strange things since coming to this planet, but this was something new. "What are you talking about? What poison?" The girl shook her head, tears falling fast. "There was a snake, a dark one. Huge. It attacked her. Aliens cannot survive its venom, but humans can take it out." "Why humans?" Ethan asked. "Because the venom kills us instantly. But for humans, it cannot live inside your blood. You're the only ones who can touch it." Her eyes begged him, glowing like 2 small lanterns in the dark. Ethan knew he should stay cautious. He had never heard of such a creature. He didn't even know this little girl. But something about her fear felt too real. Her small body shook so much that Ethan felt his own breath tighten. "Where is your mother?" he asked gently. "Not far," she whispered. Then her voice cracked. "She can't breathe." That was enough. Ethan stepped forward and lifted the girl to her feet. "Show me." She grabbed his hand tightly and pulled him through the forest. Her steps were fast and uneven, her breath short. The trees around them grew thicker, and the air felt heavier. Strange sounds echoed from the deeper parts, soft hisses, clicking noises, movements hidden behind shadows. Ethan felt pressure around his chest. Something dangerous lived here. After a few minutes, they reached a small rocky cave. A dim purple light glowed inside, coming from the moss on the walls. Ethan ducked and entered behind the girl. The sight inside made his stomach twist. Woman, clearly the girl's mother, lay on the ground. Her skin was turning a dark shade of violet, spreading from a deep wound on her leg. Her breath came out in sharp, painful gasps. Sweat covered her forehead. The venom was moving fast as the girl fell beside her. "Mother, I brought a human. He will save you." The woman opened her eyes slightly. When she saw Ethan, a weak smile formed on her lips. "A human. Thank the stars." Ethan knelt beside her. "What bit you?" The mother tried to speak but coughed instead. The girl answered for her. "The night serpent. One bite kills us. But the venom dies inside humans. You can pull it out." The wound pulsed, almost like something was moving under the skin. Ethan felt a chill, whatever this venom was. It was alive. He did not know if he could save her. He did not know how much time she had left. He did not even know why humans were immune. But he did know one thing. He could not walk away. He looked at the terrified girl, then at her mother who was barely holding on. "All right," Ethan said softly. "I'll try. Tell me what I need to do." Before they could answer, a loud hiss echoed outside the cave. The girl's eyes widened. It came back. She whispered. The hiss outside the cave was long and sharp. echoing like metal scraping. Across stone, Ethan felt the air around him shift. The alien girl clung to her mother, her eyes wide with terror. Whatever creature had bitten her mother was still hunting. Ethan moved closer to the cave entrance, trying to see through the dim purple light. The forest beyond was quiet, too quiet. The wind had stopped. Even the glowing leaves outside were still. It was as if the whole world was holding its breath. "Stay behind me," Ethan whispered. The girl nodded quickly, her small body trembling, but the creature did not enter. Not yet. It was waiting, watching Ethan return to the mother. Her breathing was getting worse. Her skin was now a frightening dark blue, and the venom was spreading like a shadow crawling up her leg. "We don't have much time," he said. Woman tried to speak. Her voice was rough and weak. "Human. The poison, it kills my kind in minutes, but your blood, your cells, destroy it." Ethan blinked. "How do you know this?" She gave him a painful smile. "Long ago, humans saved many of us. But that was before the wars. Before our species feared each other." The girl looked at Ethan with hope. "Please, you can save her. You are strong. The venom cannot live in you." Ethan took a deep breath. "Tell me how to draw it out." The mother lifted a shaking hand and touched the wound. "You must pull the venom with your mouth, the way your ancestors did. Our people cannot touch it. Even one drop kills us." Ethan stared at the dark pulse under her skin. It looked like lightning crawling upward. "How long do I have?" he asked. "Less than 10 minutes, the mother whispered. Ethan felt his heart tighten. This was no normal venom. It looked alive, moving, twisting, spreading like a creature inside a creature. Still, he could not let her die. He rolled up his sleeves and leaned closer to the wound. The girl watched him with anxious eyes. He could hear her whispering prayers under her breath, but before he touched the wound, the woman grabbed his arm with sudden strength. "Wait!" Ethan looked at her, confused. "There is something you must know about the night serpent," she said weakly. "That marks those it bites. If you remove the venom, it will come for you next." Ethan froze. The girl gasped. "Mother, no. Don't say that." The mother shook her head. "He must know. The serpent returns for anything that interrupts its hunt. It never forgets its prey." Ethan swallowed. So that was why the creature was waiting outside. It could sense the venom still inside her, and it wanted its kill. "And if I take the venom out of you," Ethan said slowly, "it will see me as its new target." "Yes," she whispered. "It will chase you until one of you dies." I then looked toward the entrance. The hiss came again, deeper this time. The serpent was growing impatient. The girl grabbed Ethan's sleeve. "Please, my mother will die soon. Don't let the serpent scare you. You are human. Humans are brave." Her trust in him felt heavy, but warm. He nodded once, pushing aside his fear. "All right. I'll do it." He held the mother's leg gently and lowered his mouth to the wound. The venom tasted bitter, almost metallic. It burned slightly on his tongue, like hot sand, but it did not harm him. He spat it out quickly onto the cave floor. The venom hit the ground and sizzled like acid. A strange smoke rose from it. Ethan felt a shock run through his body. He was pulling something powerful, something angry. He sucked again, pulling more of the black liquid. The mother groaned in pain, but her breathing started to steady. The dark color on her skin began to fade. The serpent outside roared, this time. It sounded furious. Ethan kept working, faster now. He spat out more venom, wiping his mouth with his sleeve. The girl's mother clutched the ground, her veins slowly returning to their natural color. "You're doing it," the girl whispered. "She is getting better." But Ethan could feel something else, a strange heat spreading through his body, as if the venom was fighting before dying inside. His vision blurred for a moment. Then the cave shook violently. Dust fell from the Ceiling, the girl screamed. The night serpent had returned, and now it was coming for Ethan. The cave trembled again, this time harder. Pebbles rolled across the floor as Ethan stood, wiping the last drops of venom from his lips. The alien mother breathed more steadily now, but she was still weak. The girl hugged her tightly, her eyes locked on the cave entrance. A long, terrifying shadow moved across the purple glow. "It's here," the girl whispered, her voice shaking. Ethan stepped forward, placing himself between them and the cave entrance. His heart pounded hard, but he refused to show fear. Not when the girl was depending on him. Not after he had taken the venom into himself. A deep hiss rolled through the cave like thunder. Then, two glowing red eyes appeared in the darkness outside. The night serpent had returned. Slowly, its massive head slid into view. Its scales shimmered black and blue, reflecting light like wet stone. Its body was thick, coiled with muscle, and its jaw opened just enough to reveal needle-like fangs dripping with venom. The same venom Ethan had just taken from the girl's mother. The serpent paused as soon as it entered, lifting its head high. It smelled something that confused it. Its tongue flicked rapidly, tasting the air around Ethan. Ethan felt a burning sensation in his arm. A reminder. He now carried the serpent's venom signature, and the serpent recognized it. "It marked you," the mother whispered weakly. "It knows you have its venom. You are its prey now." Ethan didn't reply. He kept his eyes on the monster. The serpent slithered forward smoothly, shaking the ground with each movement. The girl cried out and buried her face against her mother. The creature's eyes narrowed at Ethan, furious that its kill had been stolen. Ethan stepped back slowly. He had no weapon, no armor, only instinct. "Stay behind me," he said softly. The serpent lunged. Ethan dove to the side as the serpent's fangs slammed into the ground, cracking stone. Dust exploded into the air. He rolled and scrambled back to his feet. The serpent turned instantly, its tail whipping through the air. Ethan ducked, but the tail slashed across his shoulder, knocking him back into the cave wall. Pain shot through his body. The girl screamed. "Human, get up. Please." Ethan pushed himself up, ignoring the ache in his side. The serpent slid forward, now filling half the cave. Its body was too big for the space, but that made it even more dangerous. There was nowhere to run. Ethan grabbed a rock from the ground and threw it at the serpent's head. It bounced off harmlessly, but the creature hissed in irritation. "Come on," Ethan muttered. "You want me? I'm right here." The serpent lunged again, faster this time. Ethan jumped aside, barely avoiding the snapping jaws. The fangs slammed into the wall, breaking off chunks of stone. The serpent roared in frustration. Ethan looked around quickly. There had to be something, anything he could use to fight. Then he saw it, a long broken stalagmite lying near the cave entrance, sharp, strong. He sprinted toward it. The serpent whipped its tail again. The ground shook and Ethan stumbled, but he kept running. He grabbed the stalagmite and turned around just as the serpent lunged a third time. Ethan braced himself. The serpent struck. Ethan thrust the stalagmite upward, and the sharp stone pierced the serpent's jaw. The creature let out a deafening scream, thrashing violently. Ethan was thrown back by the force. The stalagmite still lodged in the serpent's mouth. The monster's head slammed against the cave walls, trying to shake the stone loose. For a moment, the cave felt like it would collapse. The girl's mother cried out weakly, "Ethan, stop. If it dies inside the cave, everything will fall." Ethan struggled to stand. The serpent was still alive, but furious. Blood mixed with glowing venom dripped from its mouth. Ethan's vision blurred for a second. The venom he absorbed was heating inside him again. A burning pulse spread through his veins, making his head spin. The serpent turned its glowing red eyes back to him. It was choosing its next attack. Ethan tried to steady his breathing, but the heat inside his body grew stronger, racing through his bloodstream like fire. His legs trembled. "Ethan!" The girl cried. "The venom, it's reacting to the serpent." She was right. The serpent wasn't just hunting him now, it was calling to the venom inside him. Ethan's heartbeat matched the creature's hissing rhythm. The serpent lunged once more, and Ethan felt something impossible happening inside his body. Something awakening. Something not human. Ethan felt the burning inside his veins rise like liquid fire. It crawled up his arms, spread across his chest, and pulsed behind his eyes. His heartbeat wasn't normal anymore. It was heavy, loud, almost echoing. The venom inside him was reacting to the night serpent's presence, answering its call like a trapped echo inside his body. The serpent lunged. Ethan didn't think. His body moved before his mind did. He rolled to the side, faster than he ever moved in his life. Dust shot up as the serpent smashed its head into the cave floor, cracking stone. The girl gasped. "Human, how did you move so fast?" Ethan didn't know. His body felt different, stronger, sharper. The pain that had crippled him moments ago was now gone, replaced by a strange energy. He could feel every vibration in the cave. He could hear the serpent's heartbeat. He could sense the pressure in the air before each attack. The venom had changed something inside him. The mother, still weak but conscious, stared at him with wide eyes. "This is impossible. The venom is not harming him, it's awakening him." Ethan didn't understand, but he didn't have time to ask. Serpent reared its head, preparing another strike. Ethan grabbed the stalagmite that was still stuck in the serpent's jaw and pulled as hard as he could. The stone came loose with a violent jerk, and the serpent roared in pain. Ethan stumbled back but kept his grip on the sharp stone. "Come on," he whispered. "Try again." The serpent did not hesitate. It lunged again straight toward Ethan's chest. He stepped aside at the last moment and drove the stalagmite into the serpent's neck. The creature screamed, thrashing wildly. The force sent Ethan flying backward, hitting the cave wall hard. His vision blurred, but he forced himself to stand. Blood oozed from the serpent's wound, glowing faintly. The creature was weakening, but not enough. Ethan could feel the venom inside him pushing harder now, like it wanted to escape. His muscles clenched. His eyes burned. His skin felt hot. The mother whispered, horrified. "The venom is trying to pull itself back to the serpent. But it cannot. The human body is killing it." Ethan could feel the venom fading with each heartbeat. But the serpent could feel it too, enraged. The creature twisted its massive body and slammed its tail toward Ethan. He barely blocked it with the stalagmite, but the impact rattled his bones. He slid across the floor, coughing. The girl cried, "Out, Ethan, please don't die." Her voice gave him strength. Ethan pushed himself up again. The serpent loomed above him, its mouth open wide, venom dripping from its fangs. The creature lunged one final time. Its intention clear: kill the human who stole its prey. Ethan braced himself. At the last possible moment, Ethan ducked under the serpent's jaws and ran the stalagmite deep into the soft underside of its throat, its only weak spot. The serpent shrieked, a sound that shook the entire cave. Its massive body convulsed, slamming into the walls. Rocks tumbled. Dust filled the air. The girl shielded her mother as the cave trembled violently. Ethan was thrown to the ground again, but he held on. The serpent's body twisted and writhed, but Ethan kept pushing the stalagmite deeper, his muscles burning. Finally, the serpent collapsed. The ground stopped shaking. The cave fell silent, except for Ethan's heavy breathing. The girl looked up slowly. Is it dead?" Ethan stepped back as the serpent's body lay still, its glowing eyes fading to a dull red. "Yes," he whispered. "It won't hurt anyone again." The girl ran to him, tears streaming. She hugged him tightly around the waist. You saved us. You saved my mother. Ethan gently placed a hand on her head. I'm glad you're safe. But the mother looked at him with a mixture of gratitude and fear. Ethan, she whispered softly, you did more than kill the serpent. You survived its venom, and you fought with strength no human should have. Ethan frowned. His chest still felt hot. His vision still flickered. What are you trying to say? She swallowed hard. You are changing, Ethan. The venom has awakened something inside you, something our people believed was only a myth. Ethan froze. A myth inside him? What do you mean? He asked. The mother looked at him with trembling eyes. You are becoming something more than human. For a long moment, Ethan didn't speak. The cave smelled of dust, blood, and fading venom. The night serpent's huge body lay still, its black scales slowly losing their glow. But Ethan barely saw it. His attention was locked on the alien mother, her weak eyes, her trembling hands, and her strange words. More than human. What does that mean? Ethan asked, his voice unsteady. The mother pushed herself upright slowly, wincing from the pain. The girl supported her carefully, whispering, Mother, don't move. You're still hurt. But the mother shook her head. He must know. There is no time to hide anything anymore. Ethan knelt beside her. His arms still felt hot. His heartbeat still too strong. He had never experienced anything like this strength that didn't feel like his own. Senses sharper than they should be, and a strange energy burning inside him like a second pulse. The mother looked into his eyes. Ethan, you carry something ancient inside you now. Something locked deep in human blood for thousands of years. Ethan frowned. That doesn't make sense. Humans are normal. We don't have ancient powers. The mother let out a soft, tired laugh. That is what the galaxy believes. Humans are unpredictable, emotional, chaotic. But there is a truth your kind has forgotten. The girl looked confused. Mother, what truth? The mother took a long breath. Her voice was weak but steady. Humans were once protectors of the galaxy. Ethan blinked. Protectors? Yes. She whispered, long before the wars. Before the worlds separated. Before humans lost their history. You were not just another species. You were stronger than most. Because the galaxy trusted you with a gift. What gift? Ethan asked, heart pounding faster. She pointed at his chest. Your blood. Ethan touched his chest lightly. The burning inside him pulsed like a heartbeat that didn't belong to him. Human blood, she explained, was designed, yes, designed to destroy dark energy, dark venom, and cursed creatures. Humans could walk into danger where no one else could. They were resistant to poisons, immune to many toxins, and able to adapt their bodies faster than any alien. Ethan stared at her. That sounds impossible. We never learned anything like that. That's because your history was erased, she whispered. The galaxy feared humans, not because you were monsters, but because you were powerful. Too powerful. So the truth was hidden, and humans lost their place. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. Are you saying the venom inside me is activating something from ancient times? Yes, the night serpent's venom is one of the last dark poisons from the old world. Most species die instantly from it, but humans... She paused, staring at Ethan with awe. Humans absorb it, break it, transform it. The girl's eyes widened in amazement. So Ethan is special, the mother nodded. He is becoming what humans once were. A protector. Ethan sat back, overwhelmed. His breath came faster. But I don't want to become something strange. I just want to survive and help you both. The mother reached out and placed her hand gently on his wrist. You already helped us, but Ethan, you must understand this. If the serpent marked you, other creatures may sense it. Ethan's head snapped up. Other creatures? You mean more like that serpent? Worse, she whispered. Dark creatures that once feared human protectors. If they feel your awakening, they may come for you. The girl clutched her mother's arm. But why? Ethan saved us. Why? Would they chase him? Because the old laws still live, the mother replied. Dark creatures destroy protectors, always. Ethan swallowed. So what happens to me now? The mother closed her eyes. That depends on a choice you must make. You can leave this forest, go far from us, and hide your awakening. Or, she looked at him again. You can stay and protect us, as humans once protected the galaxy. Ethan felt his stomach tighten. Protect them? Fight more creatures? He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a warrior. He was just a traveler. But then the girl looked up at him, her small hand grabbing his sleeve. Ethan, please don't leave us. Her eyes were full of trust and fear. And in that moment, Ethan felt something inside him, something new, something ancient answering a protector's heart. I'm not leaving, Ethan said quietly. I'll stay. I'll protect you both. The mother smiled softly, but her smile faded as she whispered, then you must prepare. Because danger is coming, and it is coming fast. Ethan had barely rested after the fight with the night serpent when the mother insisted they leave the cave. Her strength had not fully returned, but her eyes carried urgency, an urgency that made Ethan uneasy. We cannot stay here, she whispered. If dark creatures sensed your awakening, others will come. They always hunt protectors first. Ethan wasn't sure he believed he was some ancient protector. But the burning pulse in his veins reminded him something inside him had changed. Forever, he helped the mother stand while the girl stayed close to Ethan, gripping his hand tightly as they walked through the glowing forest. The air felt heavy, as if the trees themselves were holding their breath. How far is your village? Ethan asked. Just beyond the ridge, the girl replied. Our people will thank you. They will help you understand what you are becoming. Ethan nodded, though he wasn't sure if he wanted more answers or fewer as they crossed the ridge. Ethan noticed the forest had gone silent again. No birds, no glowing insects. Not even the soft humming wind from before. Something was wrong. When they reached the top of the hill, the girl gasped. Her village, once peaceful, filled with small round houses made from crystal stone, was burning. Flames rose into the sky. Trees smoldered. Smoke twisted above the rooftops. And dark shapes moved between the houses, shadows that looked nothing like the serpent. The girl screamed, No, mother, no, our people. Ethan grabbed her before she ran forward. Wait. It's not safe. But it was too late. The creatures had already seen them. 3 dark figures turned toward the ridge. Their bodies were tall and thin, covered in shifting black dust that seemed to drink in the light. Their faces were hidden, but their glowing purple eyes pierced through the smoke. The mother's voice trembled. Shadow Reapers. Ethan felt a cold shock through his spine. What are they? Hunters, she whispered. They were created long ago to destroy human protectors. They sense awakening blood. They must have felt you fighting the serpent. The girl buried her face in Ethan's arm. They killed everyone. Ethan looked at the burning village. He clenched his fists. He remembered the fear in the girl's voice when she begged him for help. He remembered the mother's pain. He remembered the serpent attacking. He couldn't let these new monsters finish what they started. The Shadow Reapers began moving up the hill, their bodies gliding like smoke sliding across the ground. Their movements were silent, too silent. Ethan stepped forward. Stay behind me. The mother tried to protest. Ethan, these creatures killed full armies. Even protectors feared them. But Ethan didn't step back. He stepped closer. The burning pulse inside his chest surged again. His senses sharpened. The air vibrated around him. For a split second, he felt the world slow down, as if time bent around his heartbeat. One of the Reapers raised its arm. Sharp, black tendrils formed around its hand. Glowing faintly like corrupted lightning, Ethan moved. He didn't think, he acted. Just as the Reaper launched a tendril of dark energy, Ethan leaped forward. His foot struck the ground so hard that dust exploded behind him. He grabbed the child and her mother and pulled them behind a fallen tree right before the attack struck. The dark tendril hit the earth and burned a deep, smoking hole. The mother stared at him in shock. Humans cannot move like that. You are awakening faster than any protector I have seen. Ethan felt the heat inside his body burning stronger. Then tell me how to fight them. She shook her head. I cannot teach you. You must. Listen to your blood. It remembers even if your mind does not. The Reapers advanced again, forming 3 glowing circles of dark energy in their hands. The girl whispered, scared. They're going to attack together. Ethan stood up, felt the venom mark burning like a brand on his arm. He felt his heartbeat sinking with the rhythm of danger. His mind cleared, and then something clicked inside him, a memory that wasn't his. A voice from the past, a whisper, protect. Ethan's eyes widened. He stepped forward again, facing the Reapers alone. Run if you can, he told the mother. I will hold them. But the mother grabbed his arm. Her voice was shaking. Ethan, you don't understand. These creatures don't just kill protectors. He looked at her. They consumed their power. Ethan froze, and behind him, the Reaper's glowing eyes brightened, ready to strike. The 3 Shadow Reapers stood in a line, their bodies glowing with dark purple energy. Smoke curled around their feet like living shadows, and their hollow voices echoed across the burning village. Protector, protector, they hissed. The word with hunger, like predators greeting their prey. Ethan felt the venom mark burning hotter on his arm. Each heartbeat sounded like a drum. He knew, deep in his bones, that running was no longer an option, not for him. He had been chosen. By fate, by ancient history, by something buried inside human blood. The girl clung to her mother. Ethan, please don't die. He looked back at her. That was enough. He could not let these creatures harm them. He stepped forward. The Reapers launched their first attack. 3 dark energy bolts streaking through the air with a sound like tearing metal. Ethan moved, not like a human. He dodged the first bolt by leaning sideways, almost floating. He jumped over the second one, his body twisting in midair with impossible speed. The third bolt hit the ground behind him, exploding into black smoke. The girl's mother whispered in awe, a protector reborn. After centuries, the Reapers screeched, angered that their first strike failed. Ethan landed, dust rising around him. The burning pulse inside him shaped into something clearer, now a direction, an instinct, a memory not from his life but from generations past. His blood whispered again, protect, break the darkness. The Reapers charged, Ethan didn't. Back away, he sprinted toward them with a burst of speed, so sudden that the ground cracked under his feet. He slammed his fist into the first Reaper's chest. Light exploded, white light, pure and clean. The creature's dark form cracked like shattered glass, then disintegrated into smoke. The other Reapers recoiled in fear. How? The girl whispered, human blood, her mother said softly. It creates light that destroys darkness. The second Reaper lunged at Ethan, its arms turning into twisted blades. Ethan blocked the strike with his forearm, shocking even himself, and grabbed the creature's arm. The dark energy burned his skin, but the venom inside him countered it, killing the darkness instantly. Ethan lifted the Reaper and slammed it into the ground. It burst apart in a flash of white. The last Reaper hissed loudly, stepping backward. Its glowing eyes flickered with fear, then rage. Should not exist, it growled. Ethan raised his fists. Maybe, but I'm here. The Reaper launched itself at him, faster than the others, stronger, the leader of the pack. Shadows swirled around it like a storm. Ethan felt the air tighten, his breath shortening. He closed his eyes for a moment. He listened, not to the Reaper, not to fear, but to the ancient voice inside him. Stand. Protect. Ethan opened his eyes, burning with new strength. When the Reaper struck, Ethan caught its dark blade with his bare hand. The creature screamed as light burst from Ethan's palm, spreading through its entire body like lightning. The Reaper fought to break free, but it was too late. Ethan pushed forward with all his strength, and the creature shattered into white dust. Silence fell. The fires crackled softly in the distance. Smoke drifted across the village ruins. The girl and her mother stared at Ethan in a mix of awe and gratitude. "You saved us," the girl whispered. "You saved everyone." Ethan knelt beside her. "I only did what I had to." The mother walked slowly to him, still weak but standing tall. "Ethan, you are not just a traveler anymore. You are one of the last human protectors, and the galaxy will sense your awakening." Ethan looked around the burning village. "Will more of those creatures come?" "Yes," she said honestly. "But you won't face them alone. Our people will help you. You saved our lives. Now we will protect yours." The girl grabbed his hand. "Stay with us, please." Ethan smiled softly. "I will." He looked toward the stars above. Something inside him felt awake, now alive, powerful, ancient. The venom that once threatened him had become the spark of something greater. The galaxy had forgotten what humans once were, but now, one protector had risen again. And Ethan knew his journey was only beginning.